Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 6 of my 30-day life challenge. And my name is Sandy. For those who doesn't know me, I'm originally from Panama, but currently residing in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I work in the movie industry, and I'm a proud digital business owner and mentor. Okay, so let's dive into our topic for today. Is the lesson I learned the hard way? Yes. So, have you ever looked back and realized that the biggest mistake you made wasn't something you did? It was something you didn't do. For me, it was one of the hardest lessons to accept. It wasn't about making a bad decision, it was about waiting too long to make one. So, today I want to share what experience taught me and why it completely changed the way I approach growth and the future. So, let's dive into my story. Okay, so for more than 25 years, I built a career in the film industry. I love my work. It taught me discipline, organization, resilience, communication, leadership, and how to perform under pressure. But if I'm being honest, there was one mistake I made for years. You know, I believe that because things were going well, they will always stay that way. About 5 years before I started my digital business, I already knew I wanted more flexibility. I wanted to spend more time with my parents as they got older. I wanted to travel more. I wanted to keep learning. I wanted to better care of my health. I wanted to create another option for my future. And the desire was there, but I kept waiting. I told myself I was too busy. I told myself I'll figure out later. And I stayed focused on what I already knew because it felt comfortable. And, um, I went up the ladder, so, the money was there. But then 2023 happened. The film industry experienced another major setback. It wasn't the first time, but it was the third major disruption I had seen during my career. And, that's when I realized something that changed my perspective forever. The biggest mistake wasn't that I hadn't started sooner. The biggest mistake was believing I had unlimited time to prepare. You see, life reminded me that circumstance can change very quickly. And when they do, preparations matters. So looking back, I don't see that setback as something negative anymore. I see it as the wake-up call that pushed me to stop waiting and start learning. So what did I learn from this? Well, the lesson I learned the hard way is this. Preparation is easier than recovery. When things are going well, it's easy to believe they'll always stay that way. But growth isn't about reacting only when life changes. It's about preparing before life changes. So another lesson I learned is that learning is never wasted. Every new skill, every book, every mentor, every conversation, every training, or every experience adds something to who you are becoming. So you may not need it today, but one day you'll be grateful you invested in yourself. So maybe your situation is different from mine. Maybe you're not thinking about changing careers, or maybe you're simply thinking about becoming a better version of yourself. I want you to ask yourself this question. What have I been putting off? That's one. The other question is, what skill have I always wanted to learn? The third one is, what conversation have I been avoiding? And the last one, what small step can I take this week that my future self will thank me for? You see, you don't have to change your whole life overnight. You just have to stop waiting for the perfect moment. You see, the perfect moment rarely arrives. Progress begins when we decide to take the first step. So if I could leave you with one thought today, it would be this. Don't wait until life forces you to grow. Instead, choose growth before it's required. Also, keep learning, stay curious, invest in yourself, because the person you're becoming tomorrow depends on the decisions you make today. So, looking back, I don't regret my journey. Every experience taught me something. But if sharing my story encouraged even one person to take action sooner, then every lesson I've learned has been worth it. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I'll see you tomorrow. Well, actually, I'll see you later for day 7 as we wrap up the first week of this challenge. But before we go, I would love to hear from you. So I have 2 questions, or you can answer either one or both. And I would love to see it if you can put it in the comments. So the first question is, what's one lesson you've learned the hard way that made you stronger? Or you can answer, what's one step you've been postponing that you're ready to take this week? So let's encourage one another in the comments. So what you share can inspire someone else, to also take the initiative. So, or learn from it. So just put in the comments and I'll be also happy to read your comments. So that's it for day 6, and I'll see you later for day 7. Stay tuned. Thank you, everyone. Bye.